Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome or welcome back, and in this episode we're going to be going through adding things like, the player movement, we're going to be setting up the variables, and then we also might get into some things like, the pickups, things like that, and we'll flip the player's character when we're, moving left or right. Alright, so first let's work on the actual character movement and things like that. So what we're going to do is, we're going to select the player collision, and we want to head over to behaviours on the left, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be searching 8 direction, and we just want to add that. And then on top of this, we also want to add a scroll to behavior. Now, this is for down the line, but we're just going to add everything that we need, whilst we're in here. Speaking of which, so whilst we're also in here, what we'll do is we're also going to add an instance variable, and we want to call this shooting angle. We can keep this a number, and we'll just set it to 0 for now. This again is just for later on, so all we're doing is we're just setting things up for, the next episodes. So maybe in episode, 3 or 4, well, that's when we'll actually, start adding the shooting mechanics and things like that. So once you've added 8 direction anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to just tweak these values here. So we want to set the max speed, so we'll set that to something like 512. And then acceleration, we can just say, we'll say, so 2048, like that. We'll put the same for the deceleration. And then what we're going to do is, so we'll keep it 8 directions. We want to not set the angle. And we also don't want default controls. You could keep the default controls, however, I'm going to disable this just so I can also, show you how to do this in the event sheet. We'll simulate controls using different arrow keys. But if you want to use the arrow keys, then that's already kind of, set up there for you, I guess. So you can just tick that, and it will automatically, start moving around. Alright, great, so that's everything set up for your actual collision. Now just also, we'll quickly go into the billboard. Which is your character sprite. And then what we're going to do is, once again, we're just going to get everything, set up and ready to go. So we're going to head over to the left and we're going to be adding some instance variables. And now this is a bit of a long list, but this is all the variables we're going to be using down the line for our character to add things, for his health, damage, speed, all that sort of stuff. So we're going to get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to add health, keep it a number, and for now we could just set the health to like 100, something like that. These won't work yet, but we're just going to, be adding them for now. And then on top of this, so we want a max health. Again, we'll set that to what your max health would be. So if it's 100, we'll set it to 100. We want to add a damage. Again, these don't matter for now. We'll just keep these default for now. Speed. We want a fire rate. We want a range. So these, again, this is for shooting as well. So we're going to have the speed at which we fire, and the range will be... So this down the line, this will be great because we can then, we can control different variables. So if you have upgrades or things like that, you can, change the fire rate, or if you have different weapons and things like that. So it's always good to, to use variables instead of just setting a value. And then finally, we want a health pickup percentage. Now this is going to be for when we do the next episode. We're going to be adding the pickups. So this will be able, again, this is... So, you can have different types of pickups. So you could have some that give, 20%, 50%, or you could also add an upgrade down the line where, you can gradually increase that percentage. Alright, great, so that's it for the variables anyways. I just thought we'd get that out of the way so, down the line it's done. So once you've done that, guys, you can head over to your event sheet, and we're now going to be right-clicking, and we're going to add a new group, and we can call this player movement, or just movement. So this is where we're going to be putting everything to do with the character's movement and things like that. And then all we do now is we're just going to simulate the controls. So like we disabled the default ones, we now need to tell which keys are what. So for this, we're going to be using the WSAD keys. So actually we need to also, if you haven't already, we need to insert a new object, and we're going to insert the keyboard. Whilst we're here, let's also insert a mouse. So once you've done that, head back to your event sheet, and we're going to be saying, so keyboard, key is down, and we'll set the A key. So when the A key is down, we're going to add an action, and then we want to select player collision, and then now we have all these 8 direction options here. So we want to simulate control, and then we want to, so for example, so that's correct. So what we'll do is we'll set that to left. So when the A key is down, we're going to be moving left, and then what we can do is we can just Control C and Control V this 3 times. So we can just set this one to D. We'll make that one go right. We can set this one to W. We can go up. And when S is down, we can go down. So just like that, that's the very basics of movement. So if we were to test this, your character should already start moving now. Now obviously this is not correct, but the player is moving, which is great. Alright guys, so now we've got the character moving. What we're going to do is we want to select the player billboard, and we just need to tweak a few things before we start adding the animations. So we need to head down here, and as you can see, it's in the hierarchy, which is what we set up in the last episode to connect it to the the actual collision. Is we just want to disable these here, so that all we're doing is we're just actually transforming the X and Y. So we're still moving, but we're not rotating and things like that. Keep it to destroy the parent. And if we scroll down, so right now we're not using this, but what we want to do is we want to be using this use objects here. So what we can do is we can create an object for the textures to store all the different animations, and then so that's how we're going to be able to actually use those. So what we can do is we can just right click, insert new object, sprite, and then in this we'll want 2 animations for now. So let's add an animation, and we can call these idle, and then for this one we can just rename this to walking or movement, whatever you'd like. And then for now you could use some placeholders, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just find some images I've used before, and I'll also add that in the near future I'm also going to be uploading a pack where you'll be able to use that, and it'll just make everything look a bit nicer for this project. But for now it's not a big deal, we're just getting things working still, and we can focus on polishing it later on. Okay, so once you've added your images, we can close this down. And then now what we need to do is, so we can just drag this up here for now. We can call this player texture. We should put this on the environment layer as well, actually. Same thing for the actual player collision. We should also put this from the environment layer, just because that's using the Z-axis and not the actual camera. We only want the camera really to reference this billboard. And then what we want to do is we want to select the billboard again, scroll down, and now we want to select this bottom face object, and we can now use the texture we added. Alright, great, so now you've done that, what we can do is we can now head back to our event sheet, and we can start setting up things like, the animations, and we can add conditions so that when you're moving at a certain speed, we can then, we can say, you're walking, and then when you're not, you can say you're idle, things like that. So head back to your event sheet, we're going to add a new event, we're going to say player collision, compare speed, and we're going to say if it's greater or equal to, let's say, 16, for now. So if the speed is greater or equal to 16, we can now say player texture, set animation, and we can set the animation to the walking animation we just created. And then now what we want to do is we also want to add a condition so that we can set it back to idle. So what we want to do is we'll say system, we add an else condition, so this goes underneath this, and this is basically saying, so if this is not true, we're going to do something else. So we can copy this right here and paste it in, and we can change this to less than, so else it's less than 16. And then we can just copy this here and paste it in, and we can set this to the idle animation. So it's really simple. If we're moving faster than 16, we're going to walk. Else, if we're moving slower than 16, we're going to go back to idle. So let's test this real quick. So now when we're moving, we've got our walking. When we're not, it goes back to idle. Now there's no animation right now, we've got to fix the camera tilting, but you get the idea, it works great. Okay, next let's just quickly fix the camera. So what we want to do is head back to the event sheet, and on our every tick where we set the camera's position, there's just a little mistake here where, so this should be 0, the up vector Y, and the vector Z should be, or Z should be 1. So now when we hit play, so that fixes it, and now we just have this slight little movement, so it adds a bit more to the space, but it's not, it's not tilting with the camera. So great. Another thing we could just quickly add is let's just improve the the floor. So what we can do is I'll show you. So we can insert a new object, and we're going to use a tile map or a tiled background. To be fair, you could also use a tiled background. It depends if you want to add more varied tiles to the floor. So both of these will work fine. If you want a tile map and you want to actually draw it out, or if you want to just scale out an image for a tiled background, that would also work. So but for now I'll do a tile map just to show you that. So we can do a tile map. And so here for now, once again, you can just use a placeholder. I've just got one simple, like a kitchen tile floor kind of thing. So this is just one tile. But this is, again, it's just for an example. So what we'll do is we can add this. Drag this over the playable area. Make sure it's on the environment layer. And then what we want to do is we want to set the tile width and height to what the tile is. So the tile I inserted was like 256 by 256. So all you have to do is just make sure that the tile width and height matches the actual tiles, as you can see here. And then when I change it to that, now we have a full tile. So what this does is this will add a grid. And we can now just paint this out. And just like that, you can very quickly draw your floor. And so you could use a tiled background, but I like tile maps because if you wanted to add some sort of actual shading, you could simply just add different tiles that are a bit darker, and you could use that to simulate shadows. So let's say you had some walls, you could round the edges of the walls, you could use some darker tiles and things like that. And it just adds a bit more depth to the actual world. Alright, great, so I just quickly drew out a big rectangle. And so let's just test this again. And as you can see, with that background floor, it now just adds more to it, so it now actually looks a bit more like we're in a 3D space. Okay, great. So it's all working now. We have a background. As character animates, it moves around. Yeah, I think that's a great place to stop for part 2. And yeah, so take care guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next one.